Hello everyone, welcome to Viomitra Civil Center channel. The topic of our today's video is exams conducted by UPSC and their posts. In this video, we will cover introduction of civil service, list of CSE exams, CSE profile, vacancy trend, rank based allotment, allowance to civil servants. Without any further delay, let's enter into introduction. The Civil Service Examination (CSE) is a standardized test in India conducted by the Union Public Service Commission. This exam is conducted from late 1855 to till date during British rule. The Civil Service exams divided into two types: All India Services and Central Services. Civil Service Examination is one of the most toughest and prestigious competitive exams in India. Let's come to the list of CSE exams. CSE is categorized into three types. Type 1. All India Civil Services. First, Indian Administrative Service. Second, Indian Police Service. And third, Indian Forest Service. Type 2. Group A Civil Services. First, Indian Foreign Service. Second, Indian Audit and Accounting Service. Third, Indian Civil Account Service. Fourth, Indian Corporate Law Service. Fifth, Indian Defence Account Service. Sixth, Indian Defence Estate Service. 7th, Indian Information Service. 8th, Indian Ordnance Factory Service. 9th, Indian Communication Finance Service. 10th, Indian Postal Service. 11th, Indian Railway Account Service. 12th, Indian Railway Personnel Service. 13th, Indian Railway Traffic Service. 14th, Indian Revenue Service. 15th, Indian Trade Service. 16th, Railway Protection Force. These are 16 services which belongs to Group A Civil Service category. Type 3, Group B Civil Services. First, Armed Force Headquarters Civil Service. Pondicherry Civil Service. Third, Pondicherry Police Service. Fourth, DANICS, which expands to Daman and Diu, Dagra, Nagar Haveli, Lakshadweep, Delhi and Andaman Nicobar Islands Civil Service. And fifth, DANIPS, which belongs to the same Union Territories Police Service. Before we see the details of this post, we want to see in which way these posts are categorized. To know that, we want to compare between these three types of services. By knowing their aspect, we can know how they are categorized. Aspect 1. Level of Authority. All India Services. Look after administration, law and order in state, union territory and the state government. Group A Civil Services. Hold top positions in critical sectors across the country. Group B Civil Services. Supporting roles, contribution to policy implementation, administrative tasks. Jurisdiction. All India Services across state and union territory. Group A Civil Services. They are subject to various central services. Group B Civil Services. Respective department and domain. Aspect number 3. Role. All India Services. Administrative law enforcement, policy making and implementation. Group A Civil Services. Diverse administration, diplomatic, revenue and so on. Group B Civil Services. Supporting function assigned to the respective departments. Answerability. All India Services are answerable to state and central government. Group A Civil Services. Central government. Group B Civil Services. They are answerable to central government. On the basis of level of authority, jurisdiction, role and answerability, the civil service posts are categorized. Next, come to the CSE profile. Here I have given specific information about job profile, ministry, post and training places of the respective services. Let's get into All India Services. India Administrative Service. Job profile. IAS officers are the generalists of the civil service, responsible for administrative, law and order, policy implementation and development programs. Ministry can be posted to any ministry or department. Poster. District Collector, Divisional Commissioner, Secretary to Government, Chief Secretary, Cabinet Secretary and other top administrative positions. Training placer. Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Missouri. Indian Police Service. Job profile. IPS officers are responsible for law enforcement, public safety and crime prevention. Ministry. Ministry of Home Affairs. Post. Superintendent of Police, Deputy Inspector General, Inspector General of Police, Director General of Police. Training place. National Police Academy, Hyderabad. Next, Indian Forest Service, IFOS. Job profile. IFS officers are responsible for forest conservation, wildlife protection and sustainable forest management. Ministry. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Post. Conservator of Forest, Chief Conservator of Forest, Principal Chief Conservator of Forest. Training place. Indian Forest College, Dehradun. Next, come to the Group A Civil Services. Indian Foreign Service, IFS. Job profile. represent India at foreign embassies and consulates, conduct diplomacy, negotiate treaties and promotes India's interest abroad. Ministry of External Affairs. Post: Ambassador, High Commissioner, Ministry Councillor, First Secretary, Second Secretary and Third Secretary. Training place: they trained in Foreign Service Training Institute, New Delhi. Second, Indian Audit and Accounting Service. Job profile: conducts audits of government accounts, ensures financial regulatory and provides financial advice. Ministry: they belong to Control and Auditor General of India. Post: Auditor General, Additional Auditor General, Accountant General, Deputy Accountant General. Training place: Indian Audit and Accounting Academy, Shimla. Next, Indian Civil Account Service. Job profile: handles accounting and financial matters related to the Indian government. Ministry of Finance, Department of Expenditure. Post: Controller General of Accounts, Principal Chief Controller of Accounts, Chief Controller of Accounts, Controller of Accounts. Training place: they trained in two places: National Institute of Financial Management, Hyderabad, Institute of Government Accounts and Finance, New Delhi. Next, Indian Corporate Law Service. Job profile: deals with legal matters related to the corporations and businesses in India. Ministry: they belong to Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Post: Register of Companies, Joint Register of Companies, Assistant Register of Companies. Training place: ICLS Academy, Manesar, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Haryana. Indian Defence Account Service. Job profile: it provides financial advice, accounting, payment and auditing service to the Indian Defence Services. Ministry: they belong to Ministry of Defence. Post: Deputy Controller General of Defence Accounts, Controller General of Defence Accounts, Principal Controller of Defence Accounts, Financial Advisor. Training place: National Academy of Defence Financial Management, Pune. Indian Defence Estate Service. Job profile: conducting a regular survey of defence lands, acquiring, hiring and requisitioning immovable properties for defence purpose, maintaining and updating accurate and digitizing records of land. Ministry of Defence. Post: Chief Executive Officer, Defence Estate Officer, Director, Principal Director. Training place: the National Institute of Defence Estate Management in New Delhi. Next, Indian Information Service. Job profile: manages the government's communication strategies and disseminates information to the public. Ministry: they belong to Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Post: Assistant Deputy and Joint Director, Director in Selection Grade, Additional Director General, Director General in Higher Grade, Principal Director General in Higher Grade. Training place: they were trained in Indian Institute of Mass Communication in New Delhi. 8th, Indian Ordnance Factory Service. Job profile: responsible for managing the Indian Ordnance Factory, which provides India's defence production capabilities. Ministry of Defence. Post: advisors and secretaries, diplomats, scientists, commissioned officers, Central Armed Police Forces, intelligence agencies and vigilance officers. Training place: they were trained in National Academy of Defence Production in Nagpur. Indian Communication Finance Service. Job profile: manages the financial and accounting needs of the Department of Post and the Department of Telecommunications. Ministry of Communications, Department of Post and Department of Telecommunications. Post: Secretary to the Government of India, Director General of Post, Director General of Telecommunications, Chief Accounts Officers and Chief Audit Officers. Training place: they were trained in National Institute of Communication Finance at Gathoni, New Delhi. Indian Postal Service. Job profile: an Indian Postal Service officers plays a crucial role in the management and administration of postal service in India. Ministry: they belong to Ministry of Communication, the Department of Post. Post: Director General of Post Officers, Member Postal Service Board, Chief Postmaster General, Director of Postal Service, Assistant Director, Assistant Postmaster General. Training place: they were trained in 5 zonal training centers: Delhi, Kolkata, Lucknow, Nagpur, Chennai. Indian Railway Account Service. Job profile: manages the financial and accounting function of the Indian Railways. IRAS officers are responsible for preparing the budget for Indian Railways. Ministry of Railways. Post: Chief Account Officer, Financial Advisor, Divisional Finance Manager, Account Officer, Executive and Financial Commissioner. Training place: they were trained in the Indian Railway Institute of Financial Management in Secunderabad. Indian Railway Personnel Service. Job profile. It manages the human resource, manpower, planning, equipment, training, seniority, promotion, transfer, posting, reservation, payment, wages, salary and final settlement. These are the various tasks that IRPS officers undergone. Ministry of Railways. Post: Assistant Personnel Officer, Divisional Personnel Officer, Senior Divisional Personnel Officer, Deputy Chief Personnel Officer, Principal Chief Personnel Officer. Training place. They were trained in two places, in Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Aviation and National Academy of Indian Railways located in Vadodara. Indian Railway Traffic Service. Job profile. Manages the transportation operation of the Indian Railways. Ministry of Railways. Post: IRTS officers hold important positions at the zonal levels, such as Chief Operation Manager and Chief Commercial Manager. Training place. In Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration and National Academy of Indian Railway, Vadodara. Indian Revenue Service. Job profile. It manages the formulation of domestic direct tax policy, formulation of international tax policy, handling policy matters in respect of investigation of tax evasion. Ministry. Department of Revenue of the Ministry of Finance. Post: Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Chief and Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Commissioner and Additional Commissioner of Income Tax, Deputy and Joint Commissioner of Income Tax, Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax. Training place. National Academy of Direct Tax in Nagpur. Indian Trade Service. Job profile. The main mandate of the Indian Trade Service officer is to take care of the India's foreign trade and commerce. Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Post: Under Secretary, Deputy Secretary, Joint Secretary and Additional Secretary, Trade Commissioner and Trade Advisor. Training place. They were trained in Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi. Indian Railway Protection Force. Job profile. It manages security, maintains law and order, crowd controlling, law enforcement, railway security, prevents trafficking, protecting railways property and passengers, etc. Ministry of Railways. Post: Director General and Additional Director General, Deputy Inspector General, Senior Commandant and Commandant, Assistant Commandant. Training place. Indian Railway Protection Force officers trained in Subhandraganj, Uttar Pradesh, Valsad, Gujarat, Dohani, West Bengal, Makotgat, Bihar, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. Next, Group B Civil Services. Armed Force Headquarters Civil Service. Job profile. It is responsible for policy formulation, implementation and providing administrative support through civilians officers and staff to the Tri-Service Headquarters of Indian Armed Force. Ministry. They belong to Ministry of Defence. Post: Principal Director, Director, Joint Director, Deputy Director, Section Officer and Assistant. Training place. They were trained in the Defence Headquarters Training Institute, Delhi. Next, DANICS, Delhi Andaman and Nicobar Islands Civil Service. Job profile. Provides officers to administrate the civil administration of the Union Territory segments, that is Delhi, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep, Daman and Diu and Dagra and Nagar Haveli. Ministry. They belong to Ministry of Home Affairs. Post: The DANICS officers serve in various capacities in the government administration of the listed Union Territories. Training place. Directorate of Trainee Union Territory Civil Service in Karkardoma, New Delhi. DANIPS, Delhi Andaman Nicobar Islands Police Service. Job profile. Responsible for the law and order and policing function of the Union Territory segment, that is Delhi, Andaman Nicobar Island, Lakshadweep, Daman and Diu and Dagra and Nagar Haveli. Ministry of Home Affairs. Post: The DANIPS officers serve in various capacities in the government law and order of the listed Union Territories. Training place. Police Training College in Jagadok Kala, New Delhi. Pondicherry Civil Services. Job profile. They assist in implementing government policies, maintaining law and order, conducting investigations, ensuring efficient public services in Pondicherry. Ministry. They belong to Ministry of Home Affairs. Post: Deputy Collector and Assistant Collector, Sub Collector, Additional District Magistrate, District Magistrate. Training place. Pondicherry Civil Service Academy. And finally, Pondicherry Police Service. Job profile. Pondicherry police officers are responsible for law enforcement and public safety in the Union Territory of Pondicherry. Ministry of Home Affairs. Post: Sub Inspector, Inspector, Deputy Superintendent of Police and Superintendent of Police. Training place. Pondicherry Police Training College.